Guys, it's MJ from I UNPLUG. I've just been up in my loft space slash meditation space slash yoga space, and it's also where I do, like, obviously my own little spiritual practice, my own little rituals and ceremonies. And I felt like sharing with you guys some insights that I got just intuitively around Palo Santo. And I first came across this stuff when I did an ayahuasca ceremony back in summer 2017. And it was all, just part of the journey, I suppose. And it was a proper ceremony. So, yay! One hat man! So, it was like a proper ceremony. There was two guys leading it who were from different parts of South America. One of them was like initiated into the ayahuasca ceremony stuff when he was like 11, and it was intense. Like, I'm not gonna lie, ayahuasca for me was very affirmative. It's not something that I like seek necessarily, but I knew it was in my field, just being on the journey that I'm on, that I didn't want to be frightened of the experience, and that I was open to, enjoying that plant. And it showed me a lot, and it affirmed the book. It affirmed the information that came through me in the Fearless Life Guide, as far as being like a truth, a fundamental truth for humanity in the paradigm shift as well. Anywho, I digress. The point of this share was just to share with you guys some of the intuitive insight I got around using this. And they used it, again, I was first introduced to it. It smells so good. I love it. I prefer it to sage. That's why I'm sharing this with you guys. Hold on, I'll get my sage as well. I love Palo Santo! I have sage as well. I find sage is like a more space clearing, and this works in a more subtle body way. So this would be good for like smudging the whole house and clearing density like in the atmosphere, and just like maybe off your clothes and maybe in your car. And so this is my pure intuition, by the way. Like, I've not sourced this information externally in any capacity. And then the San Paulo, like I said, it came through the ayahuasca. They were burning it when they were like doing the chants in the, when they were doing the chants in like the sweat lodge before the 2-evening ceremony. And then they were like smudging and burning this throughout. And I kind of forgot about it. And then, obviously the name dropped in a few times, and then it kind of triggered my memoir. And then I met like a shaman medicine man very recently, and we ended up sort of, I guess you'd say, microdose, or just having like a small mushroom ceremony. And it was just a little bit of tea and a few nuggets. And the San Paulo appeared there again, and I was like, oh, I remember that. This is the juice of life. And so basically there's just the two of us, like very present, meditative, ceremonious, whilst enjoying the mushrooms, or being present with the wisdom of the mushrooms. And I was using a lot of this when I was experiencing the plant. And intuitively, I was like doing vortexual motions like I saw. And whilst ingesting the mushrooms and having information download around mushrooms being quite a powerful reset medicine and like detoxification, it kind of like clears the subtle body, I was using this the whole time. And I knew, whilst like I could feel how this wood was like dispersing density in my cellular body. And I've been using it ever since, and I really enjoy it. I've been clearing, I've had just more emotional storms over this last week, and I've come home, I randomly bought some, and it's sort of a long story, but my last new moon ceremony got a little out of control, and like I ended up dropping I have, I'm like in a window basically, and I ended up like dropping everything outside, including my one remaining stick of this stuff. So I've come back after more upheaval and shifting and healing, and I have a whole bunch of this stuff like saved up, or just it arrived at my house. So I'm using it to clear stuff out, and I had a really just lovely movement and meditation practice, and I felt really guided to share with you guys my intuitive insights around Palo Santo, which is used in various traditions and, you know, tribes. And I look forward to sharing more of this stuff with you and having fun exploring plants and woods and herbs and things like this, because it's fun. Like, I think it's fun. Maybe other people don't think it's fun, but I enjoy these sort of intuitive imaginings, because that's really all of life, is just imaginings. And some we really like focus in on and buy into, and others we don't. So we can just continue to buy into like all the goodies, you know. Yes, it works wonderful, most definitely. My grandmother showed me this. A grandmother. Oh my gosh, and how full circle, Emily, because grandmother, so I bring this about and mention the ayahuasca ceremony. When I did the ayahuasca ceremony, after the first evening, one of the girls who was facilitating came up to me after and was like, when you sang, because I sang weirdly, but like, yeah, I sang this moment, and quite a few people were like, oh my god, that moment when you sang, you. And then this facilitator girl came up to me and she said, that was the only time in the night where I had a vision. Like, apparently when she sang, she had this vision of like grandmother, like the grandmother energy. And ever since then, I don't know why, it's so peculiar, but I have this feeling of like being a grandmother. Is that weird or what? But anywho, full circle, my friends. Palo Santo is juicy, spicy, very, 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 very nice. And I intuitively insight that it gives a clarifying effect to the cellular body. I'll enjoy it too much. Hey, Scott. Yeah, that's fair dues. It's very, one must ebb and flow with it, and I think when you can always deal with those subtle emotions of like the fear of stuff and then the control threshold versus like the en flow, being en flow. And my experience sort of like on the other side of all of this is like things don't hook into you the same way once we've cleared enough density in our beingness. So basically, once we're totally shed from certain density patterns, substance and those potential addictive attachments don't hook in. I.e., I mentioned to you guys about like having ecstasy last summer, and I can relate to that construct of like being hooked in and attached, certainly with alcohol as well. And like, it's when we shift out of that, I feel like it doesn't have the same call, and so we can kind of ebb and flow with these things and enjoy them, and our whole of life uplifts. So the point is that we like enjoy being alive as much as we, yes, Emilia, Shane, balance. It's just the balance, because we've brought it to the center point, the 0 point from within the self. The balance becomes the primary desire versus any external, like, this is fun, but it's never going to be as much fun as just the noodling of the pure state from within. So I hope that made sense to you guys. I have so much love and compassion for all of you. Mega appreciation across the infinite space niche. And just wishing you guys a glorious day with all of your smudging goodness and clarifying goodness. Have a great day, you guys. Lots of love, peace, and I'll speak to you real soon. Bye bye.